so much. I always am grateful. Let me just get us a little situated. I always tell y'all they don't let me see what anything's look like until I'm live. And then I can see like clearly what everything is doing. So again, thank you for joining me for Sunday. I know Sunday is a very important day. It's a family day. Sometimes it's religious day. It is spiritual institution days, and I know Sundays are like a day sacred. And that's why I chose Saturdays. And way back in the day, we were on Fridays. Every now and again, something is going on, and I need to move it to a Sunday. So I'm always grateful for you guys that do tune in and make that sacrifice and make that commitment to your moment. Then grab it even on a Sunday. And then all those that watch me on a playback, definitely love you. Definitely grateful for you. But yesterday, we did so on January the 7th, we had an in-person prayer and purge. It was phenomenal. From that prayer and purge, there were a number of, we had some activities like homework assignments for the individuals that attended. And then there was a vote or a consensus, an inquiry to come back in person to revisit the homework assignments. And y'all know I was game for that, like, of course. So we came back yesterday, actually. Yesterday was our comeback so that we can follow up in person about our homework assignments and the effects of them and just continuing that work. So it was phenomenal. But we did move the moment so we could take care of that. And the moment is here. I want to give thanks again to everyone for their dedication that participated in the original Pray and Purge, and then those participants that came back for that exclusive follow up. You know who you are. I love you. Grateful for you beyond words. Definitely moved. I was moved myself. So I know that the atmosphere was magical. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Where are we today? Where are we today in our moment of harmony under the umbrella of a moment of harmony? What series are we in? What are we doing? Just came out of a 32-week series, and we are in a praise break. For those that weren't here with me last weekend, we started a praise break. It is a 3-week, oh yeah, because we came in, I was going to say 4 weeks, but it's 3. It's a 3-week praise break for the entire month of January. Every Saturday in January, we're in a praise break, touching and agreeing on 2023, getting off the top of our year in a great and wonderful mindset in order to move into a new series in February. We're just going to keep doing our courses, keep doing our work, keep graduating within self, keep graduating within life, keep graduating within glory. We're going to keep doing that, right? Okay. So today, we're in a praise break entitled Being Solid in Sand. So we had a praise break last week that was being compatible with life, love, and the universe. We touched and agreed on that over 2023. We're doing the same thing. We're touching and agreeing today. Touch and agree on 2023. That's our slogan for this series. Touching and agreeing on 2023 for being solid in sand. Where's my brain? Being solid in sand. That's what we're getting into today. And then next weekend, or the weekend coming up, is the 28th. It'll be our last praise break in a moment of harmony while we prepare to go into our declaration series. And it's going to be more than a miracle. We're going to touch and agree that we need more than a miracle in 2023. More than miracles. We need some, and miracles are wonderful. I love miracles. No hate against them. I'm experiencing some of my very own miracles right this moment. But we're going to say that we're going to be living off some solid stuff. Okay, so, but speaking of solid, we are talking today on being solid in sand. Praise break, moment of harmony, touch and agree, 2023. This is what we're getting into. Being solid in sand. My thought process when I was developing the praise break was quicksand. That's what keeps coming to my mind when I do my outline, when I do my meditation, when I'm thinking about it. Quicksand is what keeps coming to mind. Even Even though all sand has a shifting element to it, all sand has a sinking, seemingly a sinking element to it. So, and y'all, please forgive my voice. Y'all know sometimes I come up here in the morning and it's strong. And this weekend, that grand girl got me. She got me. She had me up all night. So, but we're going to get this moment in. Bear with me as we get this done together, okay? So, sinking sand or sand period. Again, quicksand came to mind. When I thought about 2022, it was quicksand that came to mind. It was standing in a place that you thought was solid, and then it began to suck you in. And then the more that you fought, the more that you moved, the more that you tried, seemingly the deeper you sunk. And sometimes the best thing to do for yourself was to stand still. But what we're going to do in this touch and agree on 2023 is declare and affirm that in 2023 we will be solid in sand. It was one of those things that shifted us last year when things moved around us, when the ground became different beneath us, when it was not as bearing, when it was not as firm, when the foundation wasn't what we were used to. It shook us. It got to us. 2022 got to a lot of us. And we're touching and agreeing on 2023. We're setting the tone and intention that I'll be solid in sand. Okay? It don't always have to be concrete for me. It's not always going to be firm dirt road. Sometimes it's going to feel like sand, but this year I'm ready for it. Right? This year, if it gets a little shifty, and these are the components we're going to talk about today. Sand does three things that we need to be aware of, or that we need to be cognizant of when we take a stance like, I'm going to be solid in sand. Sand does three things. Sand shifts, sand holds, and sand buries. So when we make the declaration that in 2023, no matter what's happening beneath us, no matter what's happening to the earth that we're on, to our grounding, if it shifts, if it shakes, if it moves, we're saying we're going to be solid, and we're able to make a declaration like that because we're going to go through exactly what sand does, why it does what it does. And when we understand the operation of growth, the operation of challenge, the operation of conflict, the operation of motivation and push, once we understand the operation, it no longer becomes an opponent. We learn how to use it. We learn how to work with it. Understand the operation so that it does not become your opponent. We're going to do that with sand today because we're not just going to say things this year. We're not just going to say like, well, 2023, I touch and agree, Mom Harmony, I will be solid on sand. And the first thing that comes our way, we're buckling. The first thing that comes our way, we're falling apart. The first thing that comes our way, we're crumbling. Because we've been through that, right? 2023 shook it up. I'm talking more than sand. I'm talking earthquake. My whole world was like a snow globe. Just and so I can't say in 2023 like this year, it's going to be different. This year, I'll stand strong. I'll stand solid. I'll be secure no matter what's happening around me. If I'm not going to spiritually go into that commitment, understand it, outline it, construct myself within it in a way that I can solidly say, I'll be solid no matter what happens to the earth that's holding me, no matter what's happening to the foundation beneath me, because I'm understanding why it's doing what it's doing. And in understanding it, I better understand me. I can be solid no matter what's happening with it. We're going to figure that out. So the first component to the affirmation that in 2023, I'm touching and agreeing with like-minded individuals that I will be solid in sand. The first component to that is understanding that sand shifts. Sand shifts. And I told y'all I had quicksand in my mind, but no matter what sand I've ever been on, it all moves under the weight and the pressure of whatever is on it. It shifts. So when I tell you that you're a force to be reckoned with, when I tell you that you hold weight and that you matter, when I tell you that you are a being of solid intention of creation, you're intentionally solid in creation. That means that when you touch sand, when your weight, the weight of your life is on sand, the weight of your dreams, the weight of your past, the weight of your healing, you're going to shift the sand. Why is that so important to understand? Why is that so important to grasp? Because if you realize that it's you shifting the sand, you won't mistake the sand for shifting you. You won't shift when the sand shifts because you'll understand that it's your weight that's moving things. Stay with me. You'll understand that it's your weight that's moving things. Sand shifts, but not on its own. Sand shifts under weight, under pressure. So when you think, again, that the movement of this sand is going to do something to you, understand that you're doing something to it. Meaning that life is going to change. Life is going to move. At times it will be uncertain. At times it will be unstable. Trust me, I know it. But it's that way because of the force you are. Not because of the force that life is. Life doesn't strain for lightweight. If you're not doing anything great, if there isn't a great calling on your life, if there isn't a great reconstruction that needs to happen in order for you to become, in my mind, I'm seeing like the Transformers. Y'all ever seen the Transformers? When they're just, peace, I love you, darling. I miss you so much. I don't even get to see your face. We have got to get up. The birthday is coming, and I want to get up with you. I love you, T. So, as I can say, that's my grandgirl's auntie, and we family. So when the life is going to happen, life is going to shift. Life doesn't shift for lightweight. Okay, that's the whole point. Life doesn't shift for lightweight. So if your life is moving, Ashe, if your life is moving, if life is happening, it's because there is a, like, again, I was using, that's where I was going. Y'all better pray for my Aquarius mind. Aquarius season. Okay, now let me tell y'all real quick. This is my squirrel. So just so y'all know, Libras are the they are the very calm, kind of low key, kind of, this side of the air signs. Okay. Geminis are the wild cards. They are the wilds. They're the rock and roll of the air signs. And then Aquarius comes right like in the middle. And we're like a little bit of both. A little bit of breeze in the sun, a little bit of rock and roll. So gang gang. And every element has their extremes and then their middle. That's why there's three of each of them. But we ain't talking about that. I just had to go and get my Aquarius his love because we're there. Okay. But when I think about the Transformers, right? I think about how the Transformers are these little cars And then when it comes into battle time, when they begin to transform, they turn in these big machines that was this car, and they turn into this big old thing, right? I have a lot of sons, so anybody who's gotten down with the whole Transformers, excuse me, you know where I am with that. But my thing is, there is your little old self, little old you, little old seed in the ground, little old thought in the universe has to become, in order to reach your destiny. You got to grow through that dirt, that ground, that soil. You got to break some of us through concrete. You have to become a manifestation of your potential, of your design. You have to become the manifestation of your design. That's a lot of work. And if that's happening, then guess what? You're going to shift some things. So sometimes it's going to look like the world is moving, crumbling, changing. The seasons are aggressive. The seasons are constant. The season is relentless. And you're like, come, let up. Let up on me. In 2023, I don't want you to beg for let up. I want you to understand that the pressure that's happening is coming from your force. I want you to get to the point where you say, why is this happening? What am I becoming? What am I shaking? What am I shifting? What am I manifesting? Because we're always asking. We're always praying, even in our soul and our minds, even if not with our mouths, subconsciously, sometimes not without intention. Not even with intention. We're praying and desiring and needing and wanting. And when it starts getting like that, things start falling off, people start falling off, things start changing. What is it that wait a minute. What am I creating? I'm saying shift that thing around, right? Because we're not sinking in 2023. We're not going under. We're not going to misunderstand the assignment, okay? We gonna understand the assignment. We understand the assignment. And to understand the assignment, any assignment, we must first understand self. Our ancestors gave us that. Know thyself. Know thyself. That's it. Know that when it seems like the earth is shaking, the earth can't do anything without you, right? Man created to rule earth, to rule, run, become one with earth and nature. So you can't, if I'm one with you, you can't really be doing anything without me. So now I will be solid. That's the point of it. I'm going to be solid when the ground starts shaking. When the sand starts bending, sinking, when it starts crumbling, when it starts moving, I won't fret the earthquake, because I'll understand that the earthquake is me. That it's my pressure, it's my purpose, it's my intention, it's my destiny that's moving things. Some of us do have to stop and we talk to God. What are you doing? What is happening? Why? What do you want from me? It's what you want for yourself. You want things you don't know you want for yourself. Because all you speak out, I want to be happy. Well, you don't know all the depths of the happiness that's in store for you. I want to be stronger. You don't know the depths of the strength that's inside of you. You don't know that yet, but you will. You keep journeying. You keep healing. You keep moving. I want to be better. I want to have joy. It's happening. It's moving. What am I moving? The Creator is moving things for me. Like I told y'all, my bestie said to me not that long ago. She was, what are you moving, God? It's moving because the force that you are. Be not in dismay. Be not discouraged. Be not distracted. Be not delusioned. The sand shifts only under pressure. If you weren't standing on it, if you weren't present on it, come on, y'all. If you weren't one with it, you wouldn't feel it. You couldn't move it. It's the same exact perception that's going to keep you solid when it starts to move again, because mon frère, it will move again. Because you will grow again. You'll have to learn again. You'll become more. You'll be, if you're blessed, in a constant state of becoming. It's going to shift again. You, this time, this is what we're touching and agreeing on. This time, though, in 2023, I'll be solid in sand. That's the first part. Why? The second thing that sand does that we need to be cognizant of to maintain our solitude in it, to maintain our position in the motion of it, is that sand holds. Sand holds water. It absorbs it. Sand holds the ocean. Right? Something so beautiful, right? Y'all, something so, I'm trying not to go off into my astrological side, because it's all these metaphors are popping into my head, all these connections. But I'm gonna stay where I am. Sand is earth. Earth holds water. Water is what we need. Water is what we are. Water is survival for us. Water is cleansing for us. Water is rebirth for us. And the sand holds it. I can't sink in the sand because I'm on the sand to get to what I need. The sand holds what I need. Therefore, I'm not intended to sink, but to grow. I'm not intended to fall, but to stabilize. I'm coming on the sand because it's preparing me for the shift in land of where I was to where I need to be. Sand holds. So is the sand, am I sinking in the sand, or is the sand holding me? I don't know if any have beach fans out there, right? I'm a beach fan. I'm a water girl, right? Love the beach, love the water. Beach girl. You can go out there in the sand and your feet can sink into it, your toes disappear in it, and it's not scary. It's different. You've been walking around in shoes. I got my Uggs and my heels and city life, okay? Go out to the beach, and I love the feeling of my toes in the sand. And I love that feeling because it's cradling. You can't sink in something that you've decided is cradling you. When you get into situations this year that start to feel like shifting, movement, I want you to begin to think, is this holding me? Some of the things that I felt were holding me back this year were holding me actually in place. Follow me, right? There were times when mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I wanted an outcome. Had the outcome in mind. And when troubles came my way, I couldn't move always out of the sand. And I gotta get to where I gotta go to. I can't get stuck here. And I was thinking that the sand is holding me. If I could only get this promotion right now, or if I could only get this answer right now, if I could only have this situation right. But what I thought was holding me back was really holding me down. It was it was cradling me. It was keeping me. I can't declare that I'm sinking if I've already decided that I'm being kept. If I've already decided that I'm being held. If I already decided that I'm being conditioned. Things I thought that were holding me back. They were keeping me. Decisions I would have made for myself that would have me in the exact same place next year. But this, let me tell you, yes, no, I won't be. No, I won't be in 2023. But I would have been if there hadn't been some blocks and some barriers and a grip that I couldn't escape. I would have moved towards some things I shouldn't have moved towards. I would have taken a part in some things I shouldn't have taken part. It was seeming to hold me down or hold me back. Sand holds. It holds the water and the life that you need, and it will also hold you. When you get into a place where you're feeling stuck this year, when you're feeling like no matter how much you move, you're just in the sand. It's not fast enough. You can't pick up momentum. You can't get friction. You can't get up off of it. When that happens, I want you to carefully evaluate, is this sand holding me or is it cradling me? Am I being kept or am I being crippled? It's two different. They can feel like the same thing. This is why they can feel like the same thing. It can feel like I'm being crippled. Why are you stopping me? What are these barriers? What is this rites of passage? What is this hazing? Just give it to me. Just give me the marriage. Just give me the degree. Just give me the job. Just give me the money. And you got all the people around you that's going to help you lose it. You got all the people around you that's going to exploit it. You have all of the environment around you that's going to destroy your blessing. So I got to keep you. Keep you. I got to let some things sift in this sand. I got to let some things blow in the wind, y'all. I got to let some things blow in the wind. I'm going to have to let the crabs and any other sea creature that comes up on and grab. I'm going to have to let some of these things get got. But I'm not holding you back. I'm holding you down. We can't sink in 2023 if we realize that. Y'all realize that? In 2023, when it starts to look like this hamster wheel, when it starts to look like nowhere fast, yo, we panicked last year, right? When it started to be like backwards and I'm moving backwards, I'm hustling backwards, this thing is not working out, this thing is not doing what I needed to do, we started to bury ourselves. But when it does that this year, we'll understand two things. Life shifts, sand shifts. It's going to move. It's moving, but it's moving because of me. Right? It's not moving on me. It's not moving against me. It's moving because of me. And the second thing we're going to realize is that sand holds. I can't always think I'm sinking. The lesson looks like I'm sinking. The breaking of the curse feels like I'm breaking. The repetition of the pattern feels like I am not moving. But sometimes I have to realize that I could be getting held down, right? I could be running late for work to avoid that crash on 83. I could be not getting pregnant by this person to avoid that single motherhood in 5, 6, 7 years. I'm saying what I think is not actualizing for me is what sand actually does. Sometimes it will hold you. If you've ever just laid on the sand, yeah, you don't sink so much that you're not coming up if you understand why you're there. Okay. Sand shifts, sand holds, and here's the last part. We're going to get ready to get about this praise break. Sand buries. Sand buries. We bury things in the sand. Things bury themselves in the sand with just regular old erosion, regular old wind blowing. Sand will cover it up. So when we get afraid of the sand, come on, y'all. I'm trying not to get emotional on this thing. That prayer and purge got me on my emotions, okay? When we're trying not to bury that thing, or when we're trying not to, we're sitting in the sand, it's looking like it's shifting. It's looking like we're sinking. It's feeling like we're stuck. Understand that another thing that sand does is buries. So while you're sitting in it and you can't get out of it, and you got your arms reached up for some SOS, and you're strategizing, there are things on you, excess, that are being buried. Imagine going into the sand with a pocket full of stuff, overflowing pockets in your shirt and your pants, and it's just stuff, receipts, pennies, bobby pins, rubber bands. Imagine getting stuck in that sand, seemingly, and when you come up out of it, when you do get help, when you do strategize and you actualize your strategy, can't you imagine that some things, some pennies, bobby pins, things that were insignificant, that weren't your person, they gonna get buried in that sand. Sometimes you go under for what needs to stay. Not that you're going to stay. I know my children, we love to bury each other in the sand. On the beach, my throat is doing crazy things, sorry y'all. On the beach, we can be laying on the beach and we'll bury each other all buried up, and then we got to break out of it. Well, of course, when we do that, we have on bathing suits. I would never take my purse. I'm not going to take my wallet because something is going to fall into that sand. And when I break up out of it, something's going to be in there. The children, they bury stuff, rocks, shells, toys. And the small stuff always seems to get lost under the sand. The rock, they can't find a rock, right? They can get the shovel. They can unbury that bucket. They get the big stuff, right? The stuff that matters, it comes out. They see it, they unbury it. But the insignificant, the small things, they get stuck under it. Once they're buried, they get lost. We can't find that seashell anymore. Mom, I can't find that rock. It's small. Understand that sand buries. So you're going to be solid the next time you're standing on sand and it's moving. The next time you're seeking something solid and the only solid thing you can find is you. You'll find joy in it. You'll find comfort in it because you'll understand that, look, I have to embark on the sand because it holds the water. I'm never going to get to the beach. Listen, y'all. You're not going to get to the water without walking through the sand. Never gonna happen. Never. So for all of y'all that think we're not gonna come across some sand in 2023, you must not have anywhere to go. You must not have anywhere to be. You must not have anyone to become. Because you're not getting to the water. Every fisherman, every crabber, every surfer, every captain of a sea, you all know you're not getting to that water. You're not going to jump into the water. You're not going to explore the water without walking through that sand. If you, unless you just get dropped in from the airplane one day, and we know that is not, that's the miracles we're talking about. But for the most part, you're not getting to the water without walking through the sand. What we're declaring in this praise break, touch and agree 2023, what we're declaring right in this moment is that we not only understand that we must walk through the sand, but we are going to be solid on sand. Y'all know how hard it is to be solid on sand. You know how hard it is to be firm. You see people that do yoga on the beach, and they do that because of the strengthening component of making yourself stable on something that's unstable. It's strengthening. It's conditioning. It works and stabilizes you and your body in a different way than if you were to be standing on solid ground. We are declaring that when we must walk across that sand, every now and again we're going to have to do it. But this time, when it shifts, we'll be solid. This time, when it holds, we'll understand it. This time, when it buries, we'll appreciate it. This time, we'll be solid when the earth beneath us starts to move. We're declaring that over 2023. This time, we'll be solid when it gets shaken up. Y'all, when I tell you where faith has brought me into already just in the beginning of 2023, where faith and endurance and connection and commitment to self has brought me already in this year, I thought that 2022 was taking me out. I thought that 2022 was breaking me down. 2022 was stabilizing me. It was conditioning me. It was strengthening me. Because the blessings today, right now, in this moment, I'm seeing the sand differently. I'll be different in 2023 because of how I understand the shifting beneath me, because of how I understand the sorting around me. We are in praise break, touching and agreeing. This year, I'm solid on the sand. This year, I'm solid. You won't catch me panicking. And trust me, I know just because I'm saying that, a test or two is on its way. But what I've gone through, see, they say you can't survive quicksand. You'll die. They say that you'll suffocate. So imagine believing that you're going to die, that you're going to suffocate. You're not coming out of this. And then coming out of it. You think I'm afraid of the beach when I came out of quicksand? You think I'm worried about the beach when I came out of quicksand? You think I'm fretting about a mud puddle when I was stuck in quicksand? Yellow dust? I will be solid. I'm going to be solid in the sand. That's our declaration, y'all. We're going to get ready to get out of this moment. I'm so grateful for you all. I love you so very much. Remember that for the entire month of January, every Saturday, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, every Saturday we are here, meeting here at 10 a.m. for a praise break, before we get back into our next series, which will be a declaration series, which I'm so excited about all the great work that's going to be taking place in 2023. Y'all, we're going places, we're doing things, we're being great, and I'm excited about it. So last week, we touched and agreed that we were compatible with life, love, and the universe. This week, we touched and agreed that we will be solid and sand. Next week, we touch and agree that we're going to have more than miracles. We'll have more than miracles in 2023. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited to love you, journey with you, and have a million more moments with you. Millions and millions of moments. Thank you for joining me for this moment. I'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. for another moment of harmony. Y'all keep healing in harmony, y'all. I love y'all.